Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Battlefield 5 because Battlefield 5 has been having its open beta, so anybody that's wanted to has been able to try out the game, and there has been a completely huge divide in the Battlefield community. You have some people saying that this is the worst Battlefield game ever in the entire franchise, and then you're having some people say this is one of the best games in the entire franchise, and there's this huge divide. And obviously a lot of the hate is coming from people that have been kind of really following the, I guess, political issues that Battlefield 5 has been having with, a lot of people screaming that it's just this SJW game and stuff like that. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to be talking exclusively about the gameplay, about, things that relate to the gameplay, because I've said it before, I don't care. I'm literally just playing the game if it is a fun game. I don't care if one of the characters happens to be black. I personally don't. I know a lot of people do care about that. I personally don't. So in this video, I'm going to be just talking about the core gameplay and why I think it makes it one of the best Battlefield games I have played in a while. And it is in closed beta, so there are a lot of bugs, kind of to be expected, but the core gameplay is definitely there. And the game really feels a lot closer to some of the older Battlefield games, especially Battlefield 2. Instead of the recent games, it feels like they kind of are focusing a little bit more on a hardcore audience, because I feel Battlefield 4, kind of Battlefield 3, but Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 definitely kind of focused on having, catering more towards casual audiences. I mean, with Battlefield 1, you had the, huge blimp or whatever, where if your team was losing by enough, your team would just get a blimp and it would just destroy. Or on some maps, it was a massive train or stuff like that. But not only in terms of that, but there were just a lot of decisions made in either the core gunplay or other things that just kind of made it a little bit more casual friendly of a game. But Battlefield 5 definitely feels like it's going back. It's not super hardcore, so casual people will be able to have fun with it, but I feel like it definitely caters more towards a harder core audience than the recent Battlefield games, and I really like that. One of the examples in how it does that is by having the time to kill be shorter. I know a lot of people have been complaining about that because it feels like they just keep dying over and over and over and over and over, and this is one of the biggest ways I feel like it will frustrate casual players, is if you're not good enough to be proactively getting kills and preventing yourself from dying, it can get frustrating. I mean, I've had even moments where, I'm doing good, but then I have a string of, bad plays, or, but it's not really bad luck because it's entirely my fault, but, a string of bad plays that get me killed over and over and over, and I can see how it gets frustrating. I completely understand that, but I really like the time to kill being shortened a little bit. It makes it feel like you can actually do things as a soldier. You can get double kills and triple kills. Obviously, you could potentially do that in the more recent games like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1. By the way, the naming of these games really does not make it easy to talk about it, because you got Battlefield 3, 4, then 1, and then now back to 5, whatever. But it makes it where it feels like you can actually do a little bit more as a soldier rather than, oh, okay, I got a kill and then I died. Because that's what it felt like a lot of the times for some of the other games, especially the more recent ones. And kind of going along with the time to kill, the gunplay itself feels so good. I know they kind of focused on making more set spray patterns and stuff like that in this game, so that is probably helping, but I don't know fully why the gunplay feels so good. It just does. It feels really good to kill people in this game. Battlefield 1 for me struggled a little bit in that department. It felt, obviously good to kill someone because that's the point of the game, but it didn't feel really good, and I personally feel like it just feels so good. The gunplay feels so smooth. I really like the gunplay in this game, but I can't really point to any specific things why besides maybe the time to kill. Another reason I think Battlefield 5 is tremendously good is because of how much they are promoting team play. So first of all, before in a lot of the old Battlefield games and the most recent ones, is the only person that could revive anybody was the medic class, the one that can revive, and they could revive anyone, but there's always been some issues with that. But now, not only can they revive anybody, but anybody in your squad can revive you. So even if your friend is a recon and he's in your squad and you die, he can revive you. And it's amazing because it really does promote you guys playing as a squad more than any other game, especially because of that, because you guys can push together, you can defend together, and then you guys can get yourselves up. There is a lot of glitches, though, right now with the reviving. I mean, I still don't really understand how and when you can get revived. Sometimes I'll be killed and I can't get revived, like it just skips that entire screen. I mean, there's glitches where if you get revived as soon as you die, you go into this like weird phase where you literally cannot spawn. Obviously these are bugs, they will be fixed. I just did want to point them out, but the fact that you can revive everybody in your squad is huge for team play. And on top of that, one thing they have done is everybody just across the board spawns with very little ammo, and you can only regen your health up to 50, and then with the medics and stuff like that, they'll heal you, and then they give you kind of like a medic bag thing that you can use whenever you want. So say you're, you know, without your medic or whatever for a little bit, and you take damage but you want to go back up to 100, well, they gave you a little medic bag and you can use that. And then with ammo, because ammo is so limited, you'll definitely have to focus more on giving ammo or defending these points with ammo crates, because most points have, I think actually all points have like health stations and ammo stations, where the health stations, you go, they heal you, then they give you one of those medic bags that you can use whenever you want, and then ammo just obviously gives you ammo and refills your ammo or whatnot. But it really promotes, because of the fact that you need health and you need ammo if you are attacking points, because obviously if you're defending, you don't necessarily need someone that much because you can go get ammo or health from those packs, but in the point. But if you're attacking somewhere, it's really, really useful and honestly necessary to kind of have a wide variety of people in your squad that can do different things, and I really, really like that. And another thing also that promotes team play a little bit is all of the kind of, they're not kill streaks at all, that's just the closest thing to call them, I guess, but whenever you have a squad leader and they're telling people where to go and what points to push and stuff like that, you'll earn like squad points, and then the squad leader can use them to either drop down health and ammo, you can get like a special like tank thing, or you can get a like V1 rocket, or I know it has another name depending on what team you're on, but it's just this massive like nuke type thing that hits a pretty big area. But that promotes you as your squad to go ahead and push points together and complete what your squad leader is telling you to complete, because it gives you points. And especially that V1 rocket is really, really impactful, I have to say. Another thing that I really, really like about the game is that there is no spotting. They pretty much took spotting out. If there's like a tank, you can kind of do what you would normally do to squad, or to spot, and it'll like mark the position, and say you're particularly doing a tank, your character will say, hey, there's a tank, but it won't put like a red marker above them and follow them everywhere. And you can't just spam across all the enemies and constantly keep marking everybody. You do have the recon, which with their binoculars they can spot people, so it gives recons a whole nother kind of task to do, which I really, really, really like, and that's awesome. But overall, I hated the spotting mechanic, and I'm really, really glad it's gone. Another thing is there is less explosion spam. I don't really know why or how to explain it. Just the fact that there is a lot less explosion spam, and like I said before, there is no airship or big train or anything like that, because I really hated that. I don't know why, it felt really, really bad, because you got punished for winning, honestly. Especially there were times where if you were winning, not by a whole lot, but just a little bit, you would still, the enemy team would get the blimp or whatever, and then there you go. That sucks. Another thing that Battlefield 5 does really well is they implemented kind of like a building system, a fortification system, where say you're on a point, you hold down T if you're on PC, I don't really know what it is on consoles, and you can build sandbag barricades, you can build, if you're the support, you can build like turrets and stuff like that in specific places. You can't build wherever you want, the maps have specific places they tell you, so when you're in T it'll show you all where you could build if you wanted to, but I really, really like that. It really adds a whole nother depth to the game, because you take control of a point and you guys might want to fortify all of it because you want to defend it. I really like the building system so far from what I've seen. I think it's one of the biggest improvements Battlefield 5 has to offer personally, and I really, really like it, and I hope all future Battlefield games have it. And then on top of all of that, obviously there's not going to be a premium pass or paid loot boxes or anything like that, so they'll sell cosmetics for you, which I've always been fine with. You know, if you want to buy a skin, just buy it. They're going to just say, here's a skin, if you want to buy it, just buy it. There's no loot boxes, and there's no premium pass to split up the player base, which is tremendous. All the future content will be free. Obviously, EA could pull something somehow and be scummy and completely lie and then charge for weapon attachments and make the game pay to win. I don't know, could happen, but hopefully that doesn't happen. But the game isn't perfect. Obviously, like I've said, the open beta has a lot of bugs and glitches, which most of them will be fixed, but I do have a couple issues with the game itself. And the main thing is the perk tree system for weapons and how weapons kind of work. So how it works is you level up your class. So say you're playing, Recon, you level up Recon, and depending on like what level you are, you unlock the gun. So once you get to level 10 for Recon, you unlock the like Car 98 or whatever it is, and that's great, that's dandy, whatever. But then you level up guns individually, and then what that does is that allows you to buy these perks that go on the gun, and it's like a perk tree, and it's really weird. But the thing is in itself, I would be okay with the system, but once you choose what perks you want, you can't go back. You can't switch perks on that gun. What you have to do is you have to get a whole nother copy of the gun, which right now in the beta, it's just free. You just spend like, the 0 currency that you earn and buy it, but then you have to buy all the perks again. So now you have separate weapons. So instead of it just being like you get the weapon and then you can customize it however you want, I'd be fine with having to buy the perks, but you can't change the perks. You then have to buy the whole gun again, and then you have to buy the whole perks again, and then they're permanent. You can't change them. And the fact that that's also what you're using to buy on cosmetics is kind of scaring me a little bit, because people are going to want to build a new weapon with the perks, and I'm sure they're going to charge for that currency, because that's how they're going to make money off the skins and stuff. I really hate that system. It makes it feel like a free-to-play system, and there's no pay-to-win features about it. It feels really, really bad, and I do not like it. On top of that, you can't change anything about your classes in-game. So one game, I wanted the rocket launcher for the assault class rather than the TNT, and I just accidentally had the TNT out, but I couldn't switch. And because in Call of Duty, it kind of makes sense why you can't customize your class in-game, because games only last like 10 minutes. But where Battlefield, where they can last 30 to 40 minutes, it'd be nice to be able to customize your classes in-game. I really don't know why that's still not a thing. And on top of that, like I said, there's bugs galore in the beta. But overall, if you have not played it yet and you're interested in FPS games or Battlefield or anything like that, I would definitely recommend you to actually play the beta for yourself rather than listening to a lot of YouTubers and stuff. Hell, don't even just take my word for it. Play the game for yourself. Especially because there's such a huge divide in the community, whether this is the best recent or, just the best Battlefield game ever or the worst Battlefield game ever. There's such a huge divide, and personally, I'm a little biased, but I think a lot of the people that are really hating on the game, it's partly because of the whole, there's black people and women in the game. But obviously, I'm not trying to speak for everybody. I just feel like that might be a little bit of a thing, and that's why I'm recommending everybody to play the game themselves and try it out, especially while you can, because the open beta is a little limited. I don't know how long it lasts for in particular. But yeah, and if you have tried the beta or anything, or you've seen gameplay, what are your guys' opinions on it? Do you guys think it's a good COD, or do you guys, like a lot of other people, think it's one of the worst CODs, and why? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear all of your guys' reasons and stuff like that. But either way, if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. New videos come out every Wednesday and Sunday. And like always, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.